some of the stuff.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's not going to matter too much, but yeah.
I've got my webcam.
At some point, I could hook them both up. We can put them both on the stream.
Party.
All right, stream's live. Oh god, Discord, I think, is just taking a dump on itself. I actually can't get announcements to load.
Oh no.
It's weird. I can get like every other channel to load, not announcements. You know, the one where we announce things.
I can try it out. I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just giving me messages failing to load. Well, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead.
Who are they?
Glade. Night Glade. The sister team of the team that we beat in the last week of the regulars. Oh. Oh, the champ is capitalized in Pog champ? Oof.
Night Glade.
Alright, now that I've donated my stuff. Oh, by the way, thank you, Maristmatic, for the 4-month subscription and the 590 bits. Oh, I got an emote thanks to my own cheer. Hell yeah. These are actually kind of cool emotes that it gives.
Which one?
Apparently if you sub or donate bits, it just like gifts random emotes to people in the chat.
Oh, interesting.
And they're like kind of okay emotes. Oh, and of course now my announcements will load now that you've done it. So
Perfect.
go ahead and just copy that post in family chat as well. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere else.
I could just type in the general chat of the FPL, but I guess they're also streaming, so I'll just not do that.
Yeah.
I kind of did earlier, so that's fine.
Oh shit, your boy in the chat. He even personally says hi to you, you're just gonna ignore him.
Oh yeah. Have so, yeah, I thought, were you doing something with microwave? It exploded? What's going on? Okay.
Oh no.
Is it okay?
The TSM house is burning down over there.
Yeah, I guess my wife started the microwave and then there was a big explosion.
Oh.
Not really, but it was just loud.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to notice you, Giacomo. I don't know.
Well, I just turned the chat on.
Oh, he said hi, Lane.
So-
You ditching D&D and not saying hi, meanie.
Hi Cam. How's it going? I have to stream for my boys, okay? I wasn't sure if we were gonna have D&D tonight, since we've skipped the last 4 weeks. I'm gonna spend the next 2 days doing the scavenger hunt with you, and you can't, give me one night.
It's good, Lane. You're being assertive.
This is the new me. New year, new me.
True.
I'm gonna need everyone with a Prime sub to just go ahead and click that little button that says subscribe. It is the second day of the month, so like, as part of me being assertive, it'd be great if you just give that to us. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel bad. Our sub count has tapered off quite a bit because haven't been doing as much casting because there hasn't been anything to cast.
No games. That drought will come to an end shortly here.
I got an invite. Let's go. Did you get an invite? Yep.
I did. Oh, my spectate button was gigantic. Pop out chat.
Spec link. That's the one I need.
Me too.
Now I'll just have to keep half an eye on that. Oh, they have this. The sides are flipped. There we go. Oops.
Yeah, our microwave is dead.
Oh no.
It's alright. We went 6 months without a microwave before we moved here, so we're good.
Yeah, my boss went like almost a full year without one. I don't know that I could do it personally, because like I feel like most of what I eat is just reheated other stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can reheat it in other ways, like putting it back in the oven or putting it on the stovetop, but it's definitely nice on some occasions.
Well, officially welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the FPL quarterfinals. Game number 1 in this best of 3 between the number 1 seed from Division 2, Return of the Middlesticks, and the number 4 seed from Division 1, Glade, part of the Nocturnals organization. My name is Maristomatic. I'm on camera, and with me as my co-caster is going to be Liposuction Lane. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great. Excited to see a quarterfinal match. Our boys taking them on. Really excited.
Yeah, already into pick and ban, so I'm not even going to be on camera for very long, thank God. But yeah, Glade has, or I guess RotM being the higher seed, has chosen red side for game number 1. So already Pantheon and Riven taken away from Aikedo and Tendies, as well as the Yone and the Echo away from Sean Koo.
Yeah, I know Camille is probably going to be a really contested pick in this match. Both top laners really like playing the champion. So I'd be kind of surprised to see one of the teams not ban it, because I think it'll be a pick ban. But already trading a lot of top lane bans.
Yeah, top lane and jungle targeted there by Glade, RotM taking away some mid laners. And then now the decision point, do they want to leave the Camille up and, you know, risk it getting first pick by Sugar Bomb? And they're just going to opt to ban it away. So pretty much a clean slate for both teams, and we'll see where Glade wants to go with their first pick.
It is interesting that RTM decided to go red side. I think they're probably just looking for a counter pick, since they had side selection being the higher seed. So we'll have to see what they get from being getting to see the other team's picks, but hopefully they can convert that into something good for themselves.
Yeah, giving up the Jhin is a pretty high cost, honestly, for taking red side. So we'll see. Samso has played pretty much exclusively Jhin the entire season. So we'll see what else he's got up his sleeve. Looks like MF is the hover to start with, and it'll be locked in. And the Graves also feels very natural for Aikedo. Perhaps going to attempt the teleport smite, try to get those 2 mystery skins.
Yeah, that might be the way to do it. We'll have to see what Glade decides to respond with here. I'd expect to see a support come through. Usually you get that in your first rounds of picks, just to kind of get your bot lane, and then you can save your priorities to try to get counter matchups.
Yeah, plus jungle available as well. So Jhin Leona, pretty strong lane. I don't love the synergy between the two, but it's basically the most popular support with the most popular ADC right now.
Yeah, and I think it's also a good pick away from RTM. The Leona pairs super well with the Misfortune, especially with her bullet time. So having more lockdown with the Jhin is always a pretty good idea. And then you also get the Leona away from RTM.
Yeah, Vi is kind of a weird pick here for Daily Peach. I'm going to be honest. Vi doesn't feel like a great matchup into Graves, just because of the ranged into melee nature of it. I mean, you have 2 gap closers, I guess. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm thinking initially, but it feels like Graves should be able to punish.
I think as far as straight jungle matchup, the Graves definitely seems better, but you've already got a lot of lockdown coming for Glade with the Vile, Leona ult, and the Jhin CC. So if they're able to use that well and just team fight and avoid the 1v1 skirmish, they should be able to capitalize off of Vi.
Yeah, in the Anivia and the red 3 slot's really nice for RTM. It's going to allow them to ban away other mid lanes that are bad matchup and kind of leave Glade with a even kind of a rougher mid lane matchup. So you wind up getting 2 counter picks, sort of, if you call this a soft counter pick, I guess.
Right.
It's a neat little strategy, but the Irelia off the table as well. Digging into Tendi's champion pool, although recently, I don't want to give it away in case they're watching live, but there's the Morgana ban? Okay. He's been playing a lot of Akali, and I don't know if that's a big consideration or if they're waiting for that. I mean, I'm assuming they're waiting for a counter for Tendi's. This will be probably Black Salt here, and it's going to be the Tom Kench.
That makes a lot of sense with your red side pick. Definitely wanting to leave that for probably your solo carry in the top lane. Tendi's having just a really good season so far, and giving him a champion he can do something on in a good matchup is definitely what you want.
Yeah, I know Black Salt's comfortable on the Tom Kench. I just don't. I like him when he's more playmaking and can roam around with Graves, or with Aikedo. So I don't love the Tom Kench pick, but that's what we have. And then the Renekton locked in for Glade, blind into the top lane, and we'll see what Tendi's wants to counter with. And we just need a mid laner here, so their choice into Anivia. I guess they could go with the Renekton mid if they wanted to.
Yeah, I like the Tom Kench pick, actually, because of how much CC they've got with the Vile, Leona ult, and Jhin. Definitely is allowing RTM to keep their carries safe with all this lockdown. Doesn't give them as much agency. Oh, and this is really interesting here.
Oh, nope, that's Galio. Okay.
Okay. I was going to say. I was like, they're going to go double support or solo lane Leona or what's going on? But just a misclick.
or probably just the timeout, but it doesn't have the soft timeout that the client does. They immediately message Galio in the lobby chat, so no big deal. And there is the Akali. So that's kind of interesting. Akali into Renekton's not the most fun matchup for attendees, but he has been playing a lot of Akali, so probably feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see also if he elects to take the TP and Ignite variation, just because that gives you a little bit more kill pressure. Akali with a lot of escapes available is one of those champions that can not take the flash in the top lane. I think in matchup will be really interesting too. It's going to be a lot of wave clearing, and Galio is going to be able to get to roam, but Anivia is going to be able to get free farm and some damage on that turret, scale up, which is exactly what she wants to be able to do. So if RTM can deal with the Galio roams, it should be all right.
All right, putting up a prediction in the chat. You got 5 minutes. You're going to figure out if attendees will go over or under 3.5 solo kills for the game. So over is 4, under is 3. Yeah, should be a pretty explosive top lane with the Renekton Akali. Akali, though, not like as good at solo killing as some of the other champions he plays, so we'll see if people even want to bite on the prediction. You've got 5 minutes to lock that in, so should be, just as we're getting into game, that'll finish up.
The saddest thing is mods can't vote, so
yeah.
Really wanted to play in this one. For the record, I'm going over.
I mean, I'll unmod you if you want, mate. Like, that's
no,
an option. No, winged in the chat.
Okay.
See if we've got, looks like so far, oh, we've got some believers in the chat. All right. That'll be a big return if it's under.
I think one good thing about RTM's comp is that they are playing all comfort.
Yeah.
It's nothing new for them. It's stuff they've all played on before. It's stuff they've coordinated with before. So, I mean, as far as an RTM draft goes, they definitely got what they wanted. We'll have to see how it works out for them, but it's definitely not new stuff, so.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said for comfort, especially going into a playoff matchup when I know a lot of these players are going to be a little bit rusty, took some holiday break, but trying to get back in. Get comfortable. So we're going to have a nice 4-minute buffer now before the game starts. Wanted to thank you guys again for joining us here on the Middle Sticks channel. If you do appreciate what we do, please feel free to hit that follow button. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. So let's break it down. You've got probably should be a stronger 2v2 with the Jhin Leona bot lane compared to the MF Tom Kench, yes?
Yeah, for sure.
And then the Galio and Anivia matchup, probably Galio favored early on, and the Renekton versus Akali matchup, probably Renekton favored early on. So do you think that ROTM needs to sit back early, or can Aiketo still kind of use his range advantage and try to get out on the map? Like, what do you think the early game is going to look like for RTM?
Well, I expect that RTM's solo lanes and both, well, not solo lanes, their top and bot lanes will be pushed in for that early scuttle, which means Graves, if their lanes respond, is going to have a hard time getting a scuttle. If he comes out 1-for-1, I think RTM's in a really good spot. I think Aiketo's really got to be the guy that helps out probably top lane. If Katendis can get going, the Renekton's going to become pretty useless. I think similarly, Glade is going to be looking to play around that top as well. So both teams should be looking for that top side, and everywhere else is just kind of looking to scale, I think. Vi has a little bit more options, I think, being able to go down to bot lane potentially, since Jhin and Leona probably have the advantage there. But Tahm Kench provides a lot of safety, and if the RTM bot lane comes out, you know, only like a kill down out of lane, I think that's pretty successful for them. Just because they're not the enforcers in that lane.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you're worried a little bit about the damage profile from Glade, but considering the relative lack of tankiness, I think that they kind of got away with the beefier draft than normal.
Yeah, I think for sure. You do have chance, like, I mean, Graves can go something now like Death's Dance becomes really, really good because you're so AD heavy. Maybe something that you wouldn't usually see, but you could definitely see it in this game.
All right, that prediction closing in a couple of seconds here, and 1 minute left in the spectator delay. Thanks for the follows, and I'm looking forward to this game. I am kind of curious how those other quarterfinal games are going. I don't know if they're updated. I'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure. I looking in the banter in the FPL Discord, still can't really tell who won based on that. So.
Yeah, I mean, one of them is already completed, and that was
other side of the bracket, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, the winner of this game plays the winner of RCV and
yeah,
whoever the two side on the other side of the bracket. I had it pulled up earlier.
Redbird Club Varsity.
Oh man, so I found this like NA and EULCS Champions League music playlist. It's all from like 2015. So like all of these tracks, they start up and I'm like, oh, that's nostalgic. Oh, that one's nostalgic too.
The old chip select music. Oh, we finally getting into the game here. This is nice. Only bad thing about live casting is the 3-minute delay.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand why it's there, but it's so tired.
I don't mind that. It's the pro draft ahead of it, so it's like 7 or 8 minutes of bullshitting about picks that you've already seen.
Now let's see who wins the skin game, because that's what we're all concerned about.
Yeah.
ROTM with 5 skins to 3. I think we know how this one went.
Yeah, as you know, the fatter the wallet, the more likely you are to win the game. So
it is pay to win. So I hear.
Oh, this is always awkward. Just the 0% loading screen. Oh. Yeah, don't see anything.
Gotta
too
move
out
my
of the
chat.
ordinary.
It's been a while since I spectated.
Oh, there we go. Oh, Renekton's invisible. Okay, there we go. I was mildly concerned for a second, but it all turned out okay.
Yeah.
So welcome to Summoner's Rift. Make sure you speed up lane so that we're on the same time frame eventually.
Already done.
But yeah, on the blue side for game number 1 is going to be Glade, a partner team for the Nocturnals organization that we saw in the last week of the regular season. On the red side is the boys, Return of the Middle Sticks, and just some 5 points, which I feel like there's... I mean, usually you have the two options, either invade or not invade, so it's not like groundbreaking. But like game 1 of the playoff series, it feels like you either 5-point or you're going all in at level 1. And there's no like, we're going to casually push in and do anything. But neither one of these teams want to risk anything here in game 1. Start off with a good statement.
Yeah, I think RTM really has a hard time trying to push with their level 1. You've got like a Nivea Tahm Kench, which Tahm Kench is okay at level 1, but you don't have the best compared to all the CC that Glade has. So not really wanting to do anything with that. We are going to see the junglers start on opposite sides of the map, which means we're going to see Aikado pathing towards top lane. And I think, again, that top lane is going to be super important here in this game.
Yeah, would be kind of interested to see if Daily Peach kind of fancies heading into that red side jungle of Aikedo, maybe trying to spot him out or loop around and get an early cheese gank like you kind of can do on Vi. Her level 2 like Q flash into some nonsense is pretty good, but so far just gonna full clear his jungle. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but yeah, it is kind of interesting that we're on opposite paths for the junglers rather than you would think Vi would want to opt into like a red side start and stay on the same side as Graves with the shoving lanes, but
Yeah, and you see RotM already knows in the bot lane that this is going to be a passive lane, starting with the tier for MF, getting that stacked, heading towards the man immune. They're just looking to get as much CS as they possibly can while being safe. And they've got the wave in a good spot here, kind of close to their tower. With Vi heading down, they're definitely going to want to make sure it's not pushed out too far.
yeah, and this I haven't watched any Glade games, but it feels like it should be a relatively normal comp for them, especially with their mid laner, you know, preferring the Camille. You can go like Camille, Galio, Vi, and just have this insane initiation combo. Renekton's going to fill kind of the same role with that, but you have a lot of ways to just get people into the fight, and then you have Jhin in the back line dealing out your damage for you. It's a really interesting composition from Glade.
In the phase rush Anivia, I'm kind of interested in. I like it here. Tendy's kind of getting the better of Sugar Bomb in this matchup, which is not usually how this matchup goes, but really putting down a lot of pressure. He can play super aggressive here because he knows Graves is right behind him. And he should let this wave push back with Graves now in the alcove.
Ooh, the alcove gamer here at level 2. Level 4 up in the top lane. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get anything done, so really respectful from Sugar Bomb. But like you mentioned earlier, going ahead and trading the scuttles. Actually, Shanku is headed up, gets spotted out on the crab, but he was on his way to top lane and even gets a ward like 3/4 of the way up the river.
Yeah, that's a nice ward. Galio is one of those champs, especially against the Anivia, to just be able to push out and kind of look for roams like that. Nice that he gets a ward down for his jungler and helping out his top laner that's already pretty low on health.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Samso and Black Salt have gotten... Like, these lanes are working out almost the opposite of how we expected. Right, with the Akali. Oh, hits the Shuriken flip, and it's first blood for Tendy's in the top lane with a solo kill. X-Cray's pretty low, but still has his egg, so not in any particular amount of danger there, but going ahead and trading actively with Shanku. But first blood for Tendy's in the top lane.
Already off to a good start on the predictions for the over. Tendy's getting the solo kill with the Ignite in that top lane. Just an extra kill pressure with the Summoner spell advantage there. Doing a really good job, and he's going to get a good item on his base there, getting the Seeker's Arm Guard.
Yeah, so now it really feels like we have to watch for level 6 is going to be a big turning point for Glade. When they get those ultimates and access to that, I really feel like we need to see them make a play. And it's weird thinking that, you know, the Jhin tank comp feels pressured early on, but
yeah, I mean, they are kind of just waiting for that 6, but once they hit 6, they have a lot of options, especially this Vi here. She's just going to want to try to farm as much as she can, hit 6 as soon as possible, and then look to go gank one of her lanes that also has CC on the table, which is every single one of them.
Yeah, I am kind of interested. Level 6 for X-Craze in the mid lane's gonna make that annoying. Solomon Mictus tries to go in with the Zenith Plate, but Tom Kench, very annoying, hits it out. Ult popped by Sugar Bomb, has the Dominus running. Tendy's still has his available, that Perfect Execution, chooses to hold on to it for the time being, but now the two junglers collide up in the top bush. Aikedo forced to retreat as he runs into Daily Peach. Couple of autos coming through, but the flash over the wall from Shanku. X-Craze walls him off and keeps Aikedo safe. What a play by the Anivia as he shows up just in the nick of time to save Aikedo. Now Tendy's kind of isolated on the opposite side of the map with the 3 members of Glade, but they're not going to be able to make that play.
Yeah, it was really well played there by X-Craze. A really good wall to get his
Tendies
jungler out of
pops that
danger. But
flawless
we're gonna see an all-in.
execution, hits the shuriken flip, and there's the solo kill for Tendies, 2 already at 7 minutes. And my prediction thing looks like it wasn't much of a prediction after all. Daily Peach flies in, hits the ult into the Assault Battery, and will find the return kill. So the shutdown goes to Daily Peach with a small assist to Sugar Bomb.
Yeah, and that's a nice pickup there, getting the shutdown, an extra 150 gold for Vi's troubles there. But Tendies is just kind of getting super strong on this Akali, already with 2 kills and that Ignite coming back up. So gonna look to repeat that.
In the meantime, Aikedo sacrificing his farm for the first time ever to go ahead for Dragon, but grabs that at 7.5 minutes, so that feels pretty good. And Samso gets hit by the Zenith Blade. Black Salt a little worried it was in tower range, goes ahead and hits the Devour, but 2-1 early on, both kills on Tendies for ROTM. Feels like an ROTM game.
Yeah, this is exactly what RTM is used to. Tendies just putting down a lot of pressure, getting himself some solo kills with not a lot of help, and just kind of ROTM's game here to start. Only 500 gold difference, so anyone's game still. I think they're still looking to use that Galio ult, but down some levels to the Anivia, probably due to that early roam.
Yeah, you've got the Assault and Battery coming back up for Daily Peach. Our Magos hit level 6, so Solom and Mictus in the bottom lane. And that's a lot of CC. We'll see if they can track a kill or 2 down. Maybe look for a bot lane play after some recalls here. But so far the tempo feels good for ROTM. They've made some good plays. The solo kill keeping Daily Peach, you know, very relevant. Already ahead 14 CS, has the serrated Dirk. Want to see a back hit, and I'm actually kind of curious. That should be Brawler's Claw probably for Vi?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a more damage-heavy Vi, it looks like, which actually is pretty good. You have really good single target, so if you can just eliminate some of these squishy members for ROTM, you do a good job, even if you trade 1 for 1.
That phase rush is kind of silly on X-Craze. Just
It's definitely interesting.
But he's got a 20 CS lead off of, you know, essentially nothing in the mid lane. Like, Shanku hasn't been able to really roam or make a presence felt. He had that teleport play up on the top side, but, you know, wasn't able to finish that one off. But now Armago, Solomon Mictus shoving in, but Aikedo snuck into the side bush. Maybe set up for a gank here. Or probably more accurately looking for a counter gank, but Vi and Renekton up doing the Rift Herald. So that objective goes into the pocket of Night Glade here. In a second, we should hear Shelly cry out. I talked before about how kind of gross that whole thing is. Like, you go and beat up this purple thing for a while, and then you just take its eye, and you carry that around with you for a while. And then
you burst it open.
Yeah, no, you take it out of your pocket, crush it, and then that summons her back somehow? I mean, I guess if somebody, like, crushed my eye, I'd be really mad about it and want to charge into some towers, but yeah, I don't know. Season 11 gameplay in the bottom lane.
Freezing the wave. Ooh,
Shanku's getting a good
trade.
trade, gets the taunt though. Aikedo's here, hits the smite, couple of autos, and he's bit off a little more than he can chew. The Icicle Spear for the kill for X-Craze. Now in the top lane, Tendies has picked a fight with Sugar Bomb, but doesn't know that he's got Vi in the back pocket. Sugar Bomb limps away with a little bit of health, and Daily Peach tries to trade back, but Tendies stays strong in the top lane. So exchanging 2 ults for 1, I guess is a positive trade. Does burn his Ignite in the process, and Sugar Bomb will have both his teleport and his flash back up momentarily. So it's not like the worst trade in the top lane, and now Daily Peach will get a couple of turret plates for his trouble.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources being kind of put into this Vi. Now with that getting dropped, oh, and it's going to be an Eclipse Vi, which is going to be a lot of burst damage. So yeah, definitely going to look to just go in and try to solo carry on this Vi.
I mean, right now has
for Nightglaive.
Yeah, I was gonna say right now has the most resources on Night Glade and um, is the highest solo queue ranking member on their team for what that matters. Solma Mictus hits it going into the Galio ult, gets the double knockup. Black Salt is left for dead basically by his ADC. It's just a matter of who can clean that one up, and it'll be Daily Peach picking up that kill. They're going to try to chase down, and they will find Samso. So good little play as Black Salt and Samso overextend for some vision in the tri-bush, and 2 kills now for Night Glade as Dragon spawning here in 5 seconds might be the play for them.
Yeah, you just have to be super careful when you don't see Galio on the map, especially with as much lockdown as the Leona Jhin brings in the bot lane. RTM steps a little bit too far forward, going for a ward, and a really nice play from Night Glade.
Yeah, and now the Infernal Blaze burning away some of the shrubbery on the Rift and giving us a soul worth contending for that Infernal Soul here toward the end game. And looks like we might be headed for a longer one. Aikedo trying to steal away the blue, gonna find Daily Peach. Has to be very careful. That Eclipse damage just chewing through him. Stun doesn't land from X-Craze. They're trying to turn it back around. Taunt's gonna land from Shanku, and they'll egg Anivia. But in comes Tahm Kench and Tendies as well, as they're trying to protect their bird friend. Sugar Bomb comes in, hits the Dominus. A lot of damage being traded back and forth. Shanku as Tendies steps in front of the Justice Punch. They're gonna try to finish off the Galio, and the perfect execution does. Tendies gets chunked through, able to dash back out with a Shuriken flip. Stun just goes a little aside as Sugar Bomb takes another chunk, but it's a 1-for-1 trade as Aikedo and Shanku trade up in that top river.
Yeah, and we're seeing kind of the power of Vi come through, especially with this Eclipse, is able to just kind of one-shot Aikedo in the jungle. A really good build adaptation, I think, for the matchup. But ROTM responds, Tendies 2 coming down, and Black Salt coming up with the ult to get a 1-for-1 trade when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and I'm kind of interested. Looks like Aikedo probably headed for the Immortal Shield Bow build this game on Graves. I think that's what those items are. Don't hurt me if that's wrong.
Nope, I think you got it.
For a little bit more defensive power, probably as a result of the Vi being so far ahead, which I like the adaptation. Night Harvester finished up for Tendies. Kind of an interesting choice. I'm used to seeing the Rift Makers, so we'll see how that Night Harvester pays off for him.
Yeah, it gives him more burst damage, especially when he's fighting multiple enemies, which is really nice. He's already really far ahead, got an item and a half over this Renekton. So it's just looking to keep snowballing that. And Graves trying to get on his item here.
Yeah, meanwhile in the bottom lane, kind of on some poor man's builds right now. Have the Mana Immune plus Noon Quiver, and then the bits of an item for our Mago.
Yeah, and it's a really big CS lead, honestly. Samso built for himself already, 25 CS up. Not really due to jungle pressure or much anything else. We're going to see a gank on the top side.
Yeah, nothing really happening there. Sugar Bomb able to slice and dice his way out of danger. Aikedo just kind of hanging out in the bush for some moral support. Maybe looking for some jungle camps, but they've already been farmed up by Daily Peach. And Vi doing just a fantastic job staying ahead of the curve. Normally we're used to seeing Aikedo just get gigantic CS leads out of nowhere, but it's kind of the other way around. It's been that 20 CS lead for Daily Peach pretty consistently.
I do have to commend Samso and Black Salt just having the wave in such a good spot all the time. We're going to
Justice Punch over the wall. Daily Peach just blows up X-Craze, and Aikedo in trouble as well. They get the turret, but they're going to pay for it with 2 deaths.
Yeah, we're going to see just the strength of that Vi again. 3 kills already, no deaths. And that Eclipse damage is just disgusting. Is able to even save the ult and kill the Anivia just with a Q and an auto pretty much in the electrocute.
Yeah, so we'll have to keep watching Daily Peach, but so far a really good performance for him. But still the 1,000 gold lead for ROTM. That was interesting.
I've just been a misclick there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to
maybe...
just make it rain and accidentally hit bullet time. Daily Peach is here, going to throw out the Solar Flare. Daily Peach dives in, doesn't have a Sultan Battery available, so it's just a quick little trade of damage. Black Salt eats about half of his health, and away we go, as only the Solar Flare burned. Basically makes that not a costly gank, but not the most successful either.
Yeah. It's a good look there. Vi was down there, had her cams cleared, just kind of looking to see if something happened, and not much burn, just the solar flare as you mentioned, but we're going to see a back right before this dragon, 25 seconds to go until it spawns. Looks like Tendies is also going to back and look to TP potentially for this.
Yeah, the Gale Force picked up by Jin right now feels pretty big. Oh, Sugar Bomb in trouble. Perfect Execution comes through. He's stunned in tower range. Does Tendies have enough damage? He does with the auto attack. That's his third solo kill for those of you keeping track at home and on the betting table. And yeah, now he's 4-1, and he'll have the ability to shove this in. And Sugar Bomb will have that decision here in 20 minutes about where to walk. And it might be a little bit more important than previously hoped. It also might cost him this dragon, although Nightglade's still positioning aggressively as Tendies is healing up. He's got teleport available, now teleporting into the back of the fight. Oh, it's stolen!
Ooh.
Daily Peach able to steal that away. What a solar flare, too! Gets the triple stun, and they'll successfully disengage that fight. And Aikedo basically had his pocket picked there.
Yeah, Nightglade just finds this dragon when they really had no business having it. The Vi being up 2 levels is just
Daily
too much.
Peach flashes forward, not able to hit the Vault Breaker, but Aikedo forced to use the collateral damage back away. They'll get some more chip damage in. Tendies hanging out over the wall. Big stun as Tendies is on a killing spree. Finds that, goes into the Shroud, looking for Daily Peach. Finds the double kill at the end of that one. Genolt coming back through, looking to trade some back, but it's 3 kills for ROTM, and they'll be safe in the process. A triple kill for Tendies too.
Yeah, and really just a fight that Nightglade initiated goes so wrong.
Now he's going to find Armago at the end of this one as well. The quadra kill unofficially, and the ace for ROTM at the end of it.
And this Akali is just going off the rails. Tendies 2 with the 8 kills already. 19 minutes into the game finds 4 here in the last couple minutes. So ROTM loses the dragon, but finds a really big fight to open this game up and puts themselves ahead 4K in gold.
Yeah, what a little scrap by them. And, you know, all set up initially by that Tendies solo kill in the top lane. It gave them enough pressure for that dragon play, and then just a little overextension from Nightglade after... just a little overextension from Nightglade after stealing the dragon, not getting all the way back out of their jungle, costs them, you know, an ace, and really now puts them on the back foot for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of ROTM's game to lose right now. We could still see, I think you want to play around Daily Peach's power, especially if you can find some solos. But Tendies has got this 700 gold shutdown, and if I was Nightglade, I'd be looking to use Vi's power to try to pick that up. We're gonna get a lane swap here, which I think bodes a little bit better for ROTM. They will have the Baron control because they've got 2 against 1 here in the top lane. And Nevia is definitely able to hold her own in the mid lane with so much wave clear, but Vi looking for it.
Yep, still looking for that Vault Breaker over the wall. X-Craze just gonna back off as there's nobody on the map right now. Sugar Bomb maybe looking for the 1v2, but just gonna dash in, dash out. Oh, the bullet time ripping through. Sugar Bomb gets taken pretty low, but he'll be able to successfully retreat as Tendies is sliding up toward the mid lane. Everybody kind of rearranging seats right now, but not finding a whole lot of comfort or push at the current moment.
Yeah, Nightglade did a good job rotating up there to make sure that nobody could get in and finish that kill off on the Renekton. They're gonna switch back here, put solo lane against solo lane, and Vi might find a pick. Oh,
Tendies with
the chunk.
the 200 IQ shuriken toss, but now gets chunked through. He finds the perfect execution, and he'll dive back out. That'll be solo kill number 4, by the way, for Tendies 2, as he's trying to dive back away. The proto belt will finish him off, or the rocket belt. So yeah, that'll end our bet for the game. So congratulations to everybody picking the over.
Yeah, definitely seeing the strength of this Night Harvester, and with Vi off the map, RTM elects to just start this Baron.
Yeah, Jinolt coming over the top. Samso gets chunked a little bit by one of the shots. Wall from X-Craze just kind of breaking things up. But now here comes a big triple taunt from Shanku, trying to get onto Samso, but he's able to get out of the back of the fight. X-Craze stunned up, gets egged, gets hit by the dancing grenade, and will get scrambled as a result of that. Armago picks up that kill. Shanku so low, but there's just not quite enough damage without Tendies available in this fight. So they do force them off of the Baron. So Nightglade, you know, kind of lives another day. They find a pick, and yeah.
Yeah, you kind of see that RTM's hopes and dreams are pretty much all in Tendies, and when he's not off the map, they're kind of behind in damage. Even with both teams having their strongest member off, Nightglade is able to be a little bit stronger than the RTM without Tendies there. But we're going to see a fight for this dragon. This is a 4th one of the game, and a very important one, because if Nightglade gets it, it'll put them on Soul Point.
Not going to have Jin ult available for this fight, or Tom Kench ult, or Graves ult, I guess, are the big ones missing. Wait, X-Craze! Why'd he go over the wall? He gets eaten up by Black Salt, but he's in trouble at the back of the fight. Sugar Bomb dives forward, Galley ult just kind of zoning everybody out. Bullet Time rips back through, they're able to take down the Leona. X-Craze in trouble, but Ikedo able to save him with that little bit of damage. 3 kills for ROTM as Samso finishes off another one on the top side of the fight. Double kill for Samso, and Tendies finds the last. It's an ace for ROTM.
Yeah, and RTM's going to be able to pick up this dragon. I think they're just going to go straight to the Baron as well. A huge fight for RTM there. You see how much zone control they have with the Anivia, with the MF, and are able to just survive on that Anivia, which was kind of the moment for the fight that RTM needed. I think if Anivia dies there, it's a really hard fight for RTM to win, but just couldn't blow her up fast enough.
Yeah, that was so close. Samso, you know, blinking health bar at one point in that fight. X-Craze super low without his egg available. I think if those 2 kills are confirmed, it flips immediately back the other way, and we might be looking at an ace. But instead, RTM picks it up, they pick up the Baron, and now they're very much on the front foot this game. 8,000 gold in the lead, and they'll take another free tower just for their trouble.
Yeah, RTM definitely coming out way ahead there. They should look to be able to push with this Baron. Not the best wave clear for Nightglade. Their kind of only defense, I think, is to engage with all the lockdown they've got. But it's going to be interesting to see how Nightglade responds.
Yeah, kind of interesting. So Daily Peach, we covered the Eclipse as a big burst damage, but going for the Sorelda's Grudge, I think is the correct pronunciation, maybe not. But yeah, just to help try to track down some of these targets that have been limping out of the fight. I don't hate the item, it just feels like kind of a weird cobbled together build.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a ton of armor protection with the Eclipse.
Oh, they're going to look for it, though. Daily Peach over the wall, just chunks through. Ikedo's still alive. He got so many shields. Tendies executes Sugar Bomb on the top side of the fight. Shanku looking for that damage, but can't quite find the critical amount, and he'll be forced into the stopwatch. Daily Peach not able to connect with the Vault Breaker. Double kill for Tendies, and X-Craze finds the pick as well. So 3 for ROTM, as they thought they had Ikedo. They should have had Ikedo, but Black Salt's there to devour him and keep him alive.
Oh man, we're seeing just... It's so sad for Nightglade because they're just so close in these fights to just picking off an RTM member and changing the fight entirely. But both of them just living with a little bit of health, and this is going to be the game.
Yeah, we'll see how many extra kills they can clean up, but doesn't look like any. 19-8. The early game super close between these two teams, and just a couple of, you know, minor blinking health bars really broke the game wide open. So yeah, game one goes to ROTM. Uh, we'll take a short break here. I guess, do you have any analysis you want to throw in, Lane?
No, that's all right.
All
I
right.
think you covered it.
We'll take a short break and be back with game number two. Ooh. All right, music. Alright, gonna open up a new prediction poll in the chat. So there you go, bet away, you degenerates. You got 10 minutes to lock in your prediction. Are you back, Glade?
I am back.
Okay. Go ahead and join the lobby then.
Yep, I'm in here.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Game 2 length, 27 minutes.
Oh shit, they have bans. Alright. I missed it. My bad. So welcome back. Game number 2. Between ROTM and Nightglade, ROTM can close out the series with a win here. Nightglade fighting for their playoff lives, and already quite a few different bans on the table here. Yone, Echo, Renekton, the same 3. Oh no, they're different because Renekton was played. So Yone, Echo are the same, drop the Camille ban, but it's added on Nightglade's side, and they ban away Akali and Anivia, which is going to leave up the Pantheon, which will be the first pick for Return to the Middle Sticks.
And I'm expecting that to go jungle. Ikeda's been playing a good amount of it, but could be flexed. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
and again, we see that Camille as the third ban. Neither team wanting to give it away.
Yeah, what are you looking for here if you're Nightglade then?
You know, I don't think, like, comp-wise, they had too big of an issue last game. I think it was just the fact that they didn't really focus Tendies, and he got really ahead just off the solo kills. When you have a Renekton and a Vi, I should be thinking, you know, kill lane, top lane as much as possible. We're going to see the Vi Jhin again, so Nightglade just running that back.
Yeah, so maybe thinking the same things. They didn't like the Akali or the Anivia, had trouble with that, but didn't feel like the issue was with their team comp, and ROTM, you know, kind of happy to one-up that as well. But there's the Riven for Tendies.
Yeah, and what's kind of nice about getting that in the first rotation is you're going to be able to ban stuff away here if Nightglade doesn't pick a top laner. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. Maybe Jhin Swain bot. That's a gross combo.
Could be, like, I feel like Swain would do okay into Riven even.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I know their support hovered it last game when they were in Champ Select. So I'm expecting this to go to support, but it is a flex pick. So kind of nice to get that in your first rotation, make ROTM at least respect that it can go to a mid lane or top lane or bot lane. So Leona going to be banned away for Nightglade.
Oh, this prediction's much more even. Alright. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Anyway, Fizz, again, taken away. Leona, banned from ROTM. And now Nightglade, you know, looking at that mid pool, looking at that support pool, and they decide Set is going to go on the ban list.
Yeah, with 2 supports banned, I'm expecting that Swain to go support. Definitely don't want engaged supports into a Jhin Swain. That can kind of deal with that, so getting rid of that early is good.
Kind of interesting, they left the Morgana up that they banned in game number 1. I don't know
yeah,
if Black
that's
Salt
true.
Will look for that, but Morgana Misfortune can be pretty punishing.
Yeah, I know historically Black Salt doesn't love playing Morgana. He's very good at the champion and can play it very well, speaking firsthand, but not his first pick if he has to pick a champ.
Yeah, the Mordekaiser going to be the last pick that RTM will get to see, so that'll be the pick into Riven, almost 100%. I guess you could throw it mid lane if you really wanted to, but the Braum going to be the choice for Black Salt, and then we just need a mid laner for X-Craze, presumably, to round out this composition.
Yeah, definitely some change in picks here. I think that's a smart drafting decision by Glade to kind of ban some of the stuff that was really difficult for you to deal with in the last game. You definitely want to change it up. I think in the early game, both teams were super even, but there were just some fights that didn't go Glade's way, so they can't be feeling too bad about that game 1 performance.
Yeah, and Victor for X-Craze feels like a pretty decent blindable mid laner right now. So now Glade, with a couple of their choices taken off the table, hovering Zed, they lock it in. All right, well, you know, game to decide your season. Why not go all in on Zed?
Might as well, man. If you're confident in playing the assassin, then go ahead and go for it. It will be a completely different look from the mid lane for Glade there. Going from the Galio, which is way more team focused, to the Zed, who's just going to be trying to solo dive as much as possible. So Glade ends up with the assassin in this game, and we'll have to see how that changes things.
Yeah, so now just readying up in the client. They'll start eventually. There it is, okay. But yeah, definitely a really different look between the Zed and the Galio. Maybe, you know, team telling him to play Galio. He's like, no, I want to play Zed. That's my champ.
Yeah, I mean, you do end up with the counter pick, so it's definitely something he was fine playing with. We'll have to see how it ends up going. Victor, again, another scaling pick for X-Craze. Is going to look to just kind of farm in the early game and get out of lane, trying not to die and be even in CS. If he does that, he's going to be looking really strong in that mid to late game.
Yeah, I really want to keep my eyes on this Riven versus Mordekaiser matchup. Should be, you know, pretty snowbally up there in the top lane, which, you know, feels like a Tendy's comfort area, but sometimes that snowball goes the other way.
Yeah, Tendy is known as a really aggressive player, and he'll fight you whether he's down 2 kills or up 2 kills. So, you know, kind of depending on how things go, you can slide off the table a little bit. Usually doesn't happen, thankfully, for RotM.
Yeah, and kind of unfortunate as well with the Pantheon and Riven, like, top jungle combo. Mordekaiser can itemize some armor early on and get a lot of value out of that if he does get behind. So, you know, could really keep an eye on that. I am a little worried. I guess another worry about this team comp for Glade is that it is full AD, right? I mean, you have the Swain's support. Oh, no, never mind. You have
Mordekaiser.
I'm just, yeah. Ignore exactly what I just said and make a different statement on that.
No, we're going to see the on-hit Mordekaiser, so you're entirely right. Yeah. Swain as a support really does bring a lot to the table, especially with the Jhin. Pretty much anyone that has good lockdown, he goes well with. So really strong with the Jhin. A lot of burst, and you get a surprising amount of damage out of a champion that really doesn't get a ton of gold in the support position, but is kind of surprisingly tanky and is a big harasser. Black Salt and Samso did a great job in last game dealing with the strong lane of the Leona Jhin. They're going to be up against, I think, an even stronger lane here in Swain Jhin. And if they're able to survive it like last game and come out with a CS lead, they're going to be looking really good.
Yeah, but again, it's a pretty tough ask. I like this Misfortune Braum combo. They've run Jhin Braum a couple of times this split, and I don't like that combo, so happier to see them go with the Misfortune Braum. But yeah, I mean, your eyes have to be on Shanku in the mid lane on that Zed, using your red 5 pick to go ahead and lock in the Master of Shadows, and he's got a tough task to assassinate the Victor in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Daily Peach on the Vi again played super well on it in last game, so if he's able to have another performance like that and some of the lanes kind of stabilize, like not getting solo kills in the top lane, I think they'll be in a much better spot. So should be a close game here for game 2.
Yeah, I'm excited about this though. A lot of champions that like to brawl and scrap and should be pretty explosive, as we do have 2.5 minutes before we load into the game. So thanks everybody for joining us here on the stream. Hopefully you're enjoying the casts. If you don't follow us, please hit that follow button. We'd really appreciate it. I don't know that I have more shilling to do. Anything?
Nope, I think that's about it.
Okay, cool. We're done being corporate about it.
You have a good New Year's. Did you do anything special?
No, we kind of hung out here. We rearranged the living room, which is still in process.
Nice.
I have
New year, new living room.
Have my little corner over here so I can set up the webcam. But yeah, the rest
That's
of it's
nice.
still kind of a wreck, unfortunately.
Well, now remind me, it's been a little bit, but I think didn't they remove like the on Pantheon E that he can still take tower shots now? Is that a thing?
No, he can't block tower shots.
Yeah. Okay.
They changed a couple of other things around, so it's like he got a lot of power in other areas.
Right.
Specifically now, so when he ults, he has that spear that he throws where it marks it. It radiates a slow out from that now. So if people get caught off guard, you get hit by a slow, and then you're just trapped inside the ult, which is pretty punishing, but can't block tower shots. I think overall Pantheon came out stronger, but and a lot of other people do too, because he's a very popular champion right now, both like top jungle and support. So.
Right. And I know they tried to get rid of him in the support position. I think his kit's pretty well tuned for it, even with some of the nerfs. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It's always interesting, I think, to see globals in jungle, just because you have to be so apparent for it, and you usually see it with something like Nocturne. But seeing another global here in the Pantheon is really nice to have, and it's just something you always have to think about, which is super annoying as an enemy team. So you're gonna have to look to try to get some deep vision if possible, and just kind of time that ult in your head.
Yeah, I think it's even harder as the jungler, like when it's the enemy jungler that has the global, because you forget that they exist for a little bit. They go into their jungle, farm some camps, and you're like, I'm under no threat right now, and then they hit a button, and all of a sudden they're there. But we successfully chatted through spectator delay. Let us know in the chat. Give us a hashtag RTM win, hashtag NG win, if you're visiting from the enemy. We don't want to chase you away. Welcome. Hopefully you feel at home here.
Yeah, the globals from jungle too is just like very different from what we saw with like Galio last game, where if he's not mid lane, you should be thinking about it. But yeah, being in the jungle and just always being in Fog of War makes it that much more of a surprise.
Yeah, so welcome back to Summoner's Rift, where you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. On the blue side of the Rift, wearing the blue health bars, is looking to close out the quarterfinal, is Return to the Middle Sticks, and on the top side of the Rift, wearing the red health bars, with their season on the line, is Glade. Jin didn't buy any items, so off to a rough start already, but he's headed back to correct that, as Solom Invictus is going to go ahead and walk in and get spotted by Black Salt. Some supports hanging out together, as they do. Oh,
and again,
never
the
mind,
team's
not hanging
really
out at
looking
all.
for much. It did get that ward down, so Swain already stacking some of his birds. Gets that passive stack, gets some health. Always nice.
Yeah, but again, nothing really happening at level 1, which, if your ROTM makes a whole lot of sense, you don't want to risk anything. I am kind of... I always wonder when you're the lower ranked team why you wouldn't roll the dice a little bit, but I guess feeling pretty confident, wanting not to just end the game at level 1 if they don't.
Yeah, and it's hard walking into like a Braum.
Oh, true.
You always have to be kind of aware of what he can do, and there's a lot of CC that RTM brings to the table, so kind of the opposite of what we were seeing last game, where they didn't have the level 1 comp. We actually see the junglers again on opposite sides of the jungle. Daily Peach going for that full clear, trying to hit 6 as fast as possible on his Vi.
I was going to call out X-Craze. He missed his first 3 minions in the mid lane.
Well, I was trying to avoid that. Just trying to distract. And there we see, even through the Guardian, Samso losing about half his health with just one combo at level 1 with the Swain. Able to get that electrocute off and kind of seeing the power of that pick. Vi, starting top side, is going to be on her way down here, so I have to be pretty careful for our RotM.
Yeah, I mean, just that power, because you can apply the E twice. So the E through, and then the second part of the E that tugs, and then your pull and your auto procs electrocute. It's kind of disgusting. But
and we're kind of seeing that Braum with the wall is able to put that up and block the stun, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, Tendi's with the big shove up here in the top lane. Shouldn't be an issue for either jungler. It looks like Aikedo should get that top scuttle. Daily Peach will grab the bottom scuttle, and we'll kind of enter into our first possible little gank phase here.
Yeah, Tendi's putting in a quick recall there. Comes back with a Ruby Crystal. Didn't have to expend any of his pots at level 1, so gonna have a lot of sustain in this lane coming back to a pushing wave, which would be really nice for him. And again, Samso just taking control of the spot wave, making sure it doesn't hit the tower and putting them in a really rough spot.
Yeah, Shanku gets a pretty nice little chunk out of X-Craze with that electrocute proc, and Daily Peach looking to wrap around. Aikedo's waiting on the other side. Forward, though, from the Vault Breaker from Daily Peach, flash over the wall from X-Craze. He can't really follow. It's first blood for Shanku, as looked like a little bit of miscommunication there between X-Craze and Aikedo, as X-Craze flashed over the wall, but Aikedo was walking the long way around the little embankment there in mid lane.
And that's where you want the kills going if you're Night Glade. Get this Zed going. Really nice gank there by Daily Peach.
Tendi's is still
really
going
putting
for
on
this.
a show.
The Conqueror procs have already gone off. He goes forward, hits the third Q, and Tendi's with a solo kill in the top lane on Sugar Bomb. A level down into the minion wave, and still takes the win on that duel, I guess. I lost my train of thought halfway through the sentence.
No, you're fine. I think that's also really interesting there. Tendi's electing to go for the blue tree and ends up taking the magic shield. We're going to see a trade on the bot side.
Margo going to get stunned up. Still has his 4th shot available, but not choosing to rip it off immediately. Now finally fires it at Black Salt. So has to burn both of his summoner spells, as well as the flash from Solom and Mictus. Meanwhile, Samso and Black Salt still hanging on to their flashes. So a little bit of a positive trade down there for RotM, and we'll see if they can make anything happen because of it.
Yeah. RotM getting a kill where they want it on the Tendies, and then Night Glade also getting a kill where they want it on the Zed. X-Craze is really just pushed up here again. We could see a potential return gank with his flash down if the Vi decides to come over.
It's like he's both. Like, he's definitely overextended, but he's really trying to punish this range versus melee matchup when you can before Deathmark available. But now Shanku has Deathmark, and it becomes a different monster trying to fight against him. Tendi's is finding these traits up in the top lane, just kind of sidestepping the abilities of Sugar Bomb, and the shield evens it out just a little bit from him, luckily.
Yeah, and
but he's shoving him all the way in between the towers. Tendi's is going for it, hits the Broken Wings, hits the Wind Slash. Sugar Bomb gets autoed down, and Tendi's dives between the 2 towers up in the top lane. Daily Peach and Shanku can't roam up in time. Aikedo sliding up just to defend, and Tendi's is a monster. Shanku, though, goes in. Has his Deathmark still available, gets stunned up inside the Gravity Well, but X-Craze doesn't quite have the damage to punish him yet, or the mana right now.
Yeah, and we're just seeing the Tendi's diff again in this game too, already on 2 solo kills, just kind of dodging everything this Mordekaiser's trying to do. And not what you want to see, but at least you have some counterplay on the Zed.
Look at these sick recalls, though. 4 members of RotM back in base at the same time, hanging out in the
so coordinated. Just give a little high five as on their way back to the rift. Up 1,000 gold, feeling pretty good. Nobody's gone for this first dragon yet. It is an ocean, which is pretty nice. Get some of that passive regen in lanes.
Yeah, just trying to take a quick look. I really like the Seeker's Armguard pickup from X-Craze. He's being very respectful this game with his items and his summoner spell choices, but not respectful in the way that he's been shoving Shanku in. But now, this is a dangerous moment right now as, you know, Zed shoves in the mid wave, starts to roam down. They might look for this dragon. It doesn't look like he's even going to complete his roam all the way to bottom lane. Although Black Salt walks forward, going to get hit by the Swain combo. It's not a huge amount of damage, but, you know, any little chip that you can find.
Yeah, Tendy's just kind of stacked in the top lane. Might be able to roam down for this dragon if he gets a enough of a stacked wave. But just kind of positioning around the dragon with the pushing waves in bot and mid. Just kind of biding their time, and looks like Vi's actually going to recall and not elect to do this.
Yeah, and Samso and Black Salt have this wave frozen just outside of their tower range on the bottom side. It's just really good wave management by RTM so far. That's a big chunk. Oh, Black Salt goes forward. They pop the Pantheon ult as they come in. Soloma Mictus just gives himself up, and Aikedo finds his first kill of the game. Now Tendy's looking for the kill. He gets pulled into the Sex dungeon. Sugar Bomb. Neither one of them want the fight, I guess, at the end of the day. That's a big chunk with the solo isolated Mord Q there. As Shanku roaming up. I really like this play from Glade. Can he actually find the dive before Tendy's gets back to base? Will he risk it? No, he just takes a blast cone over.
Yeah, I guess he didn't want to go for that. I actually think Sugar Bomb could have potentially won that because you steal stats even 2 levels down, but with all the resources being adjudicated in the top lane, we're actually going to see the first dragon go over to ROTM, which will be real nice. Ocean Drake getting some extra health and mana regen.
Yeah,
super helpful.
It feels like a little bit lower tempo game from Daily Peach. He's got his ultimate available, the Assault and Battery, but hasn't chosen a lane to go to yet. Just sitting here at level 8, and I really feel like we need the Vi to make a difference here in the next couple of minutes, or this game's going to start getting pretty out of control for RTM.
Yeah, with Riven so far ahead, already up almost 30 CS, Vi really needs to try to make a play around their strong lanes, maybe with the Zed or potentially in the bot lane. But you do have to kind of respect the Pantheon ult, which is coming back up here in about 45 seconds. So you've got a small window where Pantheon's not going to be able to respond, but we'll have to see if they make use of that.
I just really like how respectfully RTM's been playing around this Zed. He got that early kill on X-Craze due to, you know, maybe just a little bit of overconfidence there from the Victor, but since then, Shanku hasn't been able to really find a roam, hasn't been able to escape mid lane, hasn't been able to find the engage onto X-Craze. It's been kind of missed opportunity after missed opportunity for the Zed, and part of that is because RTM's been playing pretty defensively around those roams.
Yeah, and we actually see Tendy's already on his Gore Drinker 10 minutes into the game. That's going to be a big difference maker against this Mordekaiser. I will expect that he's going to go maybe look for that QSS potentially, but he also could just be so far ahead at this point that he's just like, well, if I get pulled in, I probably end up killing him anyway. So we'll have to see what he elects to do with this second item choice. But
yeah, I mean, you don't want to be disrespectful with the QSS.
True. Especially when you play against Skarner and Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
That's when you don't want to be disrespectful.
Eclipse is actually just finished for Aikedo as well, so a lot of these big items, and they're all on the one side, right? ROTM is completing these first items, but we don't see any of them coming through just yet for Glade, so this is a potential opportunity for them to, you know, find a big fight. Sugar Bomb just trying to get some CS, man. He's been holding on, sitting 30 CS, 2 kills down, has his Seeker's Armguard stacked up, but...
We do actually see Shanku try to walk through lane. Actually walks top there. and then decides to go mid. I think he was thinking that Tendies might look for something against Sugar Bomb, but kind of a good look because Tendies does like to go for those low health
Black Salt
dives.
jumps forward, hits the winner's bite, looking for Soloma Mictus. Goes then pops the ultimate as Aikedo flies in with the man drop, and bullet time actually unneeded at the end of that one. Teleport coming in though from Sugar Bomb. He's got his ult available. Will he actually pull the trigger? He finally does to pull in Black Salt after he gets chunked through. He's still looking for this kill. I wonder what he thinks he has in backup, but it's going to be the Tendies teleport that's here to answer is Shanku waiting in the wings. Tendies dashes forward, gets death marked. Aikedo's on a killing spree, but Tendies gets eliminated from the map. Now the stun comes up as X-Craze roams down from the top. The Chaos Storm doing so much damage. Shanku flashes away, but he picks up a double kill on the Zed. Not quite able to find that last bit of damage or the stun there from Samso, but a double kill for Shanku, a double kill for Samso, but ROTM comes out a little bit stronger at the end of that one.
Yeah, it's going to be actually a 4 for 2, but they might go for another
Aikeido's
kill
still
here.
looking for that one.
Oh, he got it.
The double up just following Shanku through the shadow, the W. I don't know. Yeah,
so it ends up being 5 kills there for RTM. For Sugar Bomb kind of TPing in super early there, is able to actually buy a little bit of time with the R, but isn't even able to 1v1 the Braum in the Death Realm, just showing how far behind he is. Tendies, on the other hand, TPs in, also doesn't do much because he gets locked down by the CC of the buy. Ends up trading his life and getting a shutdown over, but when it's all said and done, RTM is very happy with 5 for 2.
Yeah, and now back to top lane they go, and this matchup hasn't really swung. Although Sugar Bomb's finished up Azanya's Hourglass, we'll see if those raw stats really help him out. But Aikedo flies in. There is the Zanyas that we were talking about. Comet Spear into the Golden Aegis, and Aikedo is on a rampage 4-0, and he'll drop this Rift Herald up in the top lane, and that should be first tower in the pocket of Tendies and Aikedo as well.
Yeah, I have to say Aikedo has really used his ult super well here in the early game, getting 2 massive ults in the bot lane, kind of leading that play earlier, and then also getting him kill for himself. Already up 4-0-3, got a big shutdown on his head, so really well played here from Aikedo, just getting his solo lanes ahead as well with the Rift Herald drop for Tendies.
Black Salt gonna get hit by the Eye of Sauron there, take a little bit of damage. Dragon has spawned, is available, neither jungler paying a huge amount of attention to it, although Daily Peach now walking on in toward that Rift Herald. They're gonna tug Black Salt back in, but really Armago and Soloma Mictus not really looking for the trade if they can help it. Daily Peach over the wall. I think really worried about Aikedo being there. He thought about that ball breaker. You can see the gears turning, but ultimately decides against it. Shanku and X-Craze walking into each other in the banana bush up in the top, and the dragon goes the way of ROTM, not able to be stolen away this time. And Black Salt will walk out with that unbreakable up. So ROTM gets a bloodless second dragon and transforms it into a cloud map this time.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're Night Glade, you really got to be looking for.
Gonna get hit by the Assault and Battery. Damage coming through, but he's got the Exhaust available. That's going to force the flashback out as Aikedo shows up with his ultimate and just kind of shuts down any attempt that Daily Peach was going to have to pick up that kill at the end of it. I like the run down from Sugar Bomb. A little bit late, though.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Night Glade's going to be kind of happy with the trade of ults there. A Vial for a Pantheon ult, where neither team gets anything, I think definitely comes out in Night Glade's favor. They don't have to think about that ult for at least another minute and a half, which is very nice for them. But bot lane for ROTM picks up the bot lane tower, and that's already 2 towers down.
Tendies over the wall looking for the 1v2, finds Daily Peach. Oh, that was just the timing that he needed to go into the Sex Dungeon. Now in the Death Realm, fighting out with Sugar Bomb, still has the Wind Slash available, looking for that opportunity, but Daily Peach is healed back to full. Now the stopwatch comes through, but he takes down Daily Peach, and the 1v3 is Shanku able to join. Aikedo still looking for it, hits the stun, hits the Comet Spear as well, has the Golden Aegis up and finds one, trying to turn this one back onto Sugar Bomb, but gets the big bonk to the face. Comet Spear, just times that flash well, and he'll get out. Sugar Bomb not quite able to find it. So 1 for 2 all things considered, is Tendi's Daily Peach and Shanku fall up in the top lane.
And you must be just so annoyed if you're Tendies. He literally just finds someone and then gets Mordekaiser ult when he's about to kill. And then right before he kills Mordekaiser, he goes into Zhonya's. Ends up getting 1-for-1 there, but definitely probably feeling like he could have 2v1 that if it wasn't for all of this stuff preventing him.
Yeah, went through about 4 health bars in that process as Daily Peach was able to heal back to full, but only finds 1 kill for his trouble. So nicely done by the delaying abilities of Glade to even make that into a thing. But RotM right now, 5,000 gold in the advantage, 11-4 in kills, and continuing to push away.
Yeah, and even before 20 minutes here, having just such a massive gold lead, almost up 6k. You got to be trying to look for maybe some picks with this Vyar, because that's about all you've got left for yourselves.
I thought that they were going to do it as you were talking about it. Now finally do. Pop the Vault Breaker into the Death Mark. Tendies has the huge Gore Drinker. Wait, he kills Shanku! What? Oh, Daily Peach gonna just survive out of the end of that one as Armago picks up the kill with the sneaky Jin W. But how did he kill Shanku that quick? What the hell was that?
We're seeing the balance of the Gourd Drinker able to just get half of his health bar back with just 2 champions there. Just kind of obliterates the Zed there. Another 1-for-1. And, you know, honestly, trading 1-for-1 at this point is not the worst. You're getting gold on people that matter, but RTM's not...
Chaos Storm, Sugar Bomb just going to be stuck. There's the E as well, the death rate from X-Craze. He thought Tendies was going to get all the solo kills this game. No. X-Craze picks up one for himself in the top lane. Aikedo looking for Shanku as well. Just chunking through him. One more auto. Aikedo is 6-0. Oh, man.
Yeah, and when Pantheon gets ahead, his 1v1 potential is just disgusting. Leading into that stun, you feel so bad because there's just nothing you can do. You just sit there, watch your health bar melt, and then the Q comes through at the very end to kill you with the extra execute damage.
Yeah, so the red smite into your empowered W procs it 4 times is kind of the interaction there. That is, you know, a lot of counterplay available. You just kind of get chunked off a point-and-click stun. Root gonna land onto Black Salt. They might be looking for Aikedo here. Daily Peach not quite able to find that Vault Breaker. Stun as he's looking to turn. Now hits the Jin ult back across Tendies. Looking to re-engage, but Aikedo gets pulled into the Sex Dungeon. Sugar Bomb may be able to find him. He gets a big shutdown. Mordekaiser maybe looking strong. Tendi's not quite able to find that Wind Slash. Now still looking for Solomon Mictus. Death Mark over the wall, but Swain gets another shutdown onto Tendi's as X-Craze. Oh, the big bullet time over the wall. Oof. Tears through 1. X-Craze finds 1 with the Chaos Storm, but now Daily Peach hits the Vault Breaker. X-Craze still in tower range, forced to use that Zhonya's. Winner's Bite comes back through. Now he's got a second Zhonya's. He had the stopwatch and the Zhonya's, but neither one of them pays off for him as Daily Peach finishes him off. So a little overextension there from ROTM, making it a little more interesting. Armago still chasing down, has the 4th shot available, but not going to be able to pull that one through. And they're not going to be able to finish off this Rift Scuttler either. That'll go over to Glade, and they'll continue on to the Dragon. Black Salt and Samso hanging out around the top side of the fight. Not a whole lot of initiation available. Armago has the 4th shot, throws that one in. Oh, the Mordekaiser passive takes that one. Aikedo flies in, trying to finish off the jungler on the backside of the fight. They will find Armago, although Daily Peach escaped by flashing over the wall of the pit. Sugar Bomb looking for Black Salt, but everybody else looking for him at the backside of this fight. Who is chasing whom as he finally gets pulled in by Aikedo and will take him down?
Yeah, and we actually see, even after that, Glade does get the Dragon after the ROTM overextension, but they spawn just in time for Tendies to TP in, and then for Aikedo to use his ult to get in there, clean up some kills, and really just kind of even out what Glade was able to do just a few seconds earlier.
Yeah, so now a 7,000 gold lead for RTM, but kind of tenuously hanging in. That second Rift Herald gets dropped up in the top lane. Finds, I think, this inner tower. I'm not even sure if she did that. So unfortunately, Sheila going a little bit to waste at the end of this one. But now with Baron up 21:40 on the clock, everybody clenching in the chat off of that 27-minute prediction. We'll see where we end up. But Tendy steals away the blue buff off to take some more resources. Actually, yeah, they spotted everybody on that blue buff and just going to jump onto the Baron. Do they have the damage to chunk through this quick enough? Down to 9k, 8k, and where will Night Glade go? They're finally headed in, but our Mago is separated on the bottom side of the Rift. Tendies is not going to let him be an 80 carry in 2021. No, sir. Tendies finds that kill. Black Salt just trying to delay. Aikedo gets pulled into the Shadow Realm. Baron's still at 5k, so not really a threat during this. Daily Peach shuts down. Samso finds the double kill. Another Vault Breaker through. This is a really good fight for Nightglade as Shanku finishes off X-Craze as well. Aikedo finds one back as he's on a killing spree. Still hanging around. He doesn't have much health. Gets pulled back in by the E. Shanku back forward. Has the Golden Aegis available. He finds the double kill. Aikedo staying alive. Still burning down to the Ignite. Meanwhile, Tendies has taken the Inhibitor Tower. Now working on the Inhibitor up in the bottom lane. He needs to get out of here, though. Everybody's been able to recall and respawn. He's still working on the Inhibitor, but here comes our Mago. He's going to just jump on him. The audacity to play 80 carry in 2021, but able to kite back away. Jumps over a nice little hop with that third Q. Dodges out the third. Fourth shot misses. Dodges the E, and he's out of there.
Yeah, and all of that for Nightglade just making sure the Baron doesn't go down, but Aikedo able to pick up some clutch kills right at the end to kind of save it for our RotM there, and Tendy's pushing that entire time, so he's able to get a lot off of that. They're going to start up this Baron again, and Nightglade should get here in time to at least see it if they run straight there, but not.
Yeah, Nightglade doesn't have vision of this.
They're
really tentative about this. It's down to 1,000. It's gone. RTM sneaks that Baron off of the back of the play around Baron.
I'm kind of surprised that Nightglade didn't expect that for RTM to just go right back after seeing 3 members bot, but maybe they just thought it was there and didn't want to contest it, didn't want to walk in again, especially with the Riven potentially being there. But now it's just Baron's gone and Tendies is in a 2v1 again here in the bot.
Yeah, gonna get ulted in by Daily Peach. Chunked through, has the Gore Drinker available. Doesn't get pulled into the Sex Dungeon, still trying to kite away, but Daily Peach finishes him off. But now here comes Aikedo. He's the fed one this game, if we remember. Now into the Mordekaiser ult he goes, and he'll just chunk through Sugar Bomb. Gets the stopwatch just for a little bit of time, but we'll finish him off. But now our Mago is here, trying to finish off Aikedo. Another shot gonna do it, and that's another shutdown to our Mago. Good picks by Nightglade. What is RTM getting in the meantime? It looks like sweeping through that red side jungle. They'll grab a red buff, maybe get some pressure on this top tower. But in exchange, losing this tier 1 in bottom lane, X-Craze just chunks through the minion wave. Still looking for the 1v2. Daily Peach heals back up. Fourth shot comes through, plus an auto. The Gen ult still available, and Daily Peach will finish off X-Craze. So a little bit sloppy here from ROTM in the past couple of minutes, and now we're sitting at 25. And you have to think ROTM needs to end in the next 2 in order to make some of those predictions right.
Yeah, and they're losing three Barons there, really just not getting anything off of that. I think Aikedo just being a little bit late on that Pantheon ult. And I do have to say, for as far behind as Sugar Bomb is, he's still providing his team a really valuable resource in time. That ult is just doing a lot for the team, and RTM could shut it down with the buying a QSS, but no one has elected to buy that yet. And if they didn't have so much time bought by that, I think it'd be a completely different story in that bot lane. But credit to them to finding some kills here when it matters most.
Yeah, hanging out, waiting for X-Craze here as RTM sweeps in toward the dragon. Doesn't look like it's even going to be contested by Nightglade. Probably the right call. Not, it represents Soul Point, but not Soul itself. So let that one go for now. Maybe look for that Baron here in 3.5 or Soul here in 5. But yeah, let's take a quick gander through the items. We haven't looked through them too recently, but some on-demand executes picked up by both 80 carries. Yeah, I don't see anything else that's like too gigantic since the last time that we took a look. Kind of interesting, Solomon Mictus actually doesn't have a mythic item completed.
Yeah, that is a little odd. I wonder if it's just not great ones for support, but you'd think, you
You'd
know,
think the
maybe
Leandros,
Leandries would
yeah.
be really good.
Honestly, Imperial
Just get
Mandate
some free
sounds
damage.
okay. Like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, the shove in here on the bottom side for ROTM, just kind of occupying some time right now. We're really looking at that Baron timer over in the bottom right. 240 left on that one. 4 minutes on the Cloud Soul. But for now, just going to push some minion waves back and forth, maybe see if they can find a cheeky pick or something like that. But for now, Glade not humoring them, playing very safe through this mid-game. I liked the way that they've played out this mid-game so far. A lot of times we'll see teams kind of crack to ROTM's pressure, but they've stood pretty strong so far. We'll see if they can continue and find that big punch back that they need to.
Yeah, they've definitely capitalized off of some of ROTM's over-aggression, maybe just not respecting the team as much because they were ahead so much. But finding some nice picks with the Vial, with the Mordekaiser ult, is able to kind of help themselves out and delay a little bit longer in the game.
Yeah, so X-Craze and Shanku just hanging out around on the bottom side. You have the top laners isolated back in top lane, as they should be. Tendies grabs a recall right now. So minute 30, this is when we'll need to start seeing everybody sort of meander toward that Baron area. As a full team recall, everybody take a quick fruit break. Is that what you guys did during, like, soccer when you were little? Have some orange slices?
When we were little, yeah. Oh, for sure. That and Capri Suns. That's what kept me going in soccer as a youth. But yeah, RTM's actually going to get to this Baron area first. They should. Taking recalls with a minute and a half till it spawned. So kind of expecting them to group up here, get the MF and the Braum in the mid lane, and then kind of group up and move into that top side jungle, get some wards down before Glade is able to do the same.
I just realized that I've been saying Solum Inimicus? I've been saying his name wrong the entire game, and I'm still not sure how to say it right. So apologies, Mr. Swain and Leona from last game. I'm bad at Latin. I just saw what I wanted to see and just announced it. Yeah, sorry.
Well, you know, sometimes it's your brain plays tricks on you. Have you ever seen that like thing where the words are all spelled wrong, but you can still read it? That's kind of how it goes sometimes.
Inimicus, maybe would be correct. I think. I don't know. QSSs on Tendies and Aiketo is actually very important. Tendies, unfortunately, or X-Craze, excuse me, unfortunately lost. That's like 80% approximately of his health. If I had to be a little bit more specific, gets a shield. Black Salt gonna be a bro and tank up those Jhin ults. Tendies not really fancying the 1v1 here against Sugar Bomb. Gets pulled into this X dungeon, uses his QSS, newly bought. And Daily Peach still hanging out around the side. Did he spot him on the ward? Does RTM know? Because they should just fly to the Baron here before Daily Peach can get back into position. A little bit slow on the rotation, and Samso actually lost about half of his health to the Baron. Ooh, this is getting messy.
It was a shot for RTM to do it, but I think now it might be even best to get X-Craze and back and healed up for this Dragon Soul.
Yeah. Tendi's continuing his push. Again, the Mordekaiser ult not available right now. Might be a big consideration for him, but still not going to press his advantage too much. Baron spawned, 30 seconds now on the Cloud Soul, and I think right now ROTM is looking at that Cloud Soul as their next prize, but we'll see how Glade wants to respond. If they want to fight for the soul, if they want to go maybe try to sneak this Baron at the same time. They have decent vision control over the red side, considering how pressured ROTM, or how much ROTM have pushed.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing RTM kind of not really know what to do here to close out this game. I think they're going to look.
X-Ray's looking for Sugar Bomb. They kind of separate him with that Gravity Well, but now Daily Peach over the wall gets a big chunk through. Aiketo has that golden Aegis. Shanku back through, looks for X-Craze, finds the assassination, but he gets stunned up as a result of that one. Solomon Mictus finds that kill, but now Tendies jumps in. They're looking for those health bars. Sugar Bomb is so low, he hits the Zanyas. Everybody just staying alive for the time being, but Daily Peach finally falls. It's a big shutdown. Black Salt takes like 90% of his health from that fourth shot. Shanku over the wall, not quite able to find Tendies as he dashes forward, but now RotM has control of this dragon, and they'll capitalize on that and say thank you very much for that Cloud Soul. Thank you for the 1-for-2 fight that was honestly way closer than it should be at a 9,000 gold.
Yeah, it was a super close fight, and actually Daily Peach got a really clutch ult off onto Samso and canceled MF's ult before they were able to get more than one wave off. Kind of saved it from going way worse, but in the end, RTM happy to pick up the fourth Drake, and now they're going to look to go for this Baron, probably look for this 4-1 split they've been trying out for most of this game. But it's been a really slow end game here for RTM. Even though they've been so far ahead.
Whew. All right. So we set up toward the Baron. Oh, Daily Peach just choosing to go in, hits a big ult onto Samso, but now getting canceled back out. The bullet time rips through, but they trade 1-for-2. Armago is just a little bit too far forward. It's a double kill for Samso, and now the Baron opened up for ROTM as Tendies teleports in. He's standing in the mid lane, but now the Baron health bar kind of all that matters, and Glade can't contest it right now. Tendies still looking just to buy space and time. He gets pulled into the Sex dungeon. Immediately QSS as Solomon Mictus uses the bird bomb, but gets taken down. Tendies finds that one kill. Not going to be able to find a second. Stays alive for quite a while. Almost does it. Ult in from Aikado, but it's not quite going to matter. The Baron falls to ROTM, but only 3 people wearing that purple buff.
Yeah, and there's also no Pantheon ult. In the end, though, RTM's got to be pretty happy. Get the Baron, and they're going to be pushing 2 lanes here at once while the rest of Glade respawns.
Yeah, X-Craze and Samso have to be careful up on this top side as Daily Peach respawns along with Armago.
That's no inhibitors yet. I would really like to see at least a 4-1 here for RTM and maybe a 1-3-1. You can kind of use the Pantheon ult as a way to create some space for yourself. Be able to push a wave that you normally wouldn't be able to, because you can just kind of enter the fight and get to like a mid lane fight or something like that. Tendies has done a good job of split pushing for most of the game and putting a lot of pressure down. But RTM is starting to reach kind of max items here on some of their carries, and so they're not going to get much stronger. So if Nightglade's able to hold this out, they're going to be able to neutralize.
Yeah, and RTM kind of swinging through, grabbing some vision on this dragon side. Again, 3 minutes before that Elder Dragon even spawns, so we're going to have another period of shoving some waves back and forth. And I think you've mentioned the big concern is like Tendies doesn't have any more slots in his inventory. Neither does X-Craze, although he's on, bits and pieces. There he finally finishes his 3rd item. Okay, well.
Yeah, and we got 1 item until Aikado's there, Mm-hmm. So far, electing to group up with the Baron buff, with Victor back in base is not going to be able to do too much here, but they're going to group up as 4, try to get this mid lane inhibitor. It looks like they're just going to give it over.
Yep, now sweeping through toward that bottom lane. You have to be careful if you're X-Craze not to trail too far behind. The pull-in Tendies still not really fancying that fight, which I don't blame them for, but 2 inhibs is doable. You think they have to fight over this 3rd inhib potentially. Going 3 inhibs down right before the Elder Dragon spawns doesn't feel like a winning proposition right now. X-Craze drops that Chaos Storm. Sugar Bomb gets chunked through. He's still trying. He's looking for Solomon Mictus. He just eliminates the Swain. They'll find another kill as well. X-Craze kind of... it looked like he was just casually walking through the base, but finds 2 kills basically as the result of that. And now Sugar Bomb trying to defend underneath these 2 towers. He pulls Samso into the Death Realm. Tendy's looking for it. He'll get taken down by Daily Peach, zoning from Black Salt as Samso gets taken down by Sugar Bomb in the Death Realm. Aikedo still trying to finish this one off. Sugar Bomb taken down. Now Daily Peach next to go, but the pop from Armago. They defend the base successfully. It's an ace for Night Glade on the Nexus on this doorstep of their base.
Yeah, that's going to be some big shutdowns for Night Glade, which they will like, but what they don't like is all 3 inhibs are now down. You've got both Nexus turrets down, and you know, this is where it's going to be really hard to defend if ROTM is grouped up. So should see maybe one last fight, and if you're Night Glade, you gotta fight not near the Nexus. Try to fight them maybe at the wall of your base so that they can't get onto the Nexus and just start beating it down. But with Elder Drake spawning here, they may be forced to come out.
Yeah, and that fight was without Swain, right? Swain got immediately deleted at the beginning of that, and they still were able to find everything that they need. Just a really impressive fight from Night Glade. And
Shanku also died right at the beginning of that fight. X-Craze was able to pick him off. So in a 3v5 scenario, was able to hold the base there. So we'll see at least one more team fight, maybe more if Night Glade's able to pull out another surprise victory at a team fight.
Yeah, 10 seconds to go on this Elder Dragon. Tendies is hanging up in this top lane. He might look to backdoor the Nexus. Like, not out of the realm of possibility. He has teleport to join if they need him. And this is a really tense moment in this game. Right now, Shanku hanging out, trying to defend the base. Elder Dragon started up for ROTM. What's the call for Night Glade? They're going to try to collapse on Tendies as he was headed through the front of the base. They're giving up Elder Dragon to chase Tendies through their base.
Yeah, and Tendy's just playing that super well. No, they saw him, and just
but
trying
now
to
he's
create
in trouble.
space
He
while
can't be
gets
too
Elder.
far forward. Gets hit up by the Vi ultimate, chunked through. He just dies. But now Aikedo comes in. The one at a time strat not really paying off for RTM, but now able to collapse. Daily Peach gets executed by the Elder Dragon, and I guess the game ends.
Did they just FF or
no? The spectator
freeze?
No, the spectator just does this now.
This is nice. This is what we want. So satisfying.
I guess we don't get to see the last fight.
assume?
No, I know. So when this happens, the game ends in the next like couple seconds, but like, it's not a production. Like, this is the client. This is as far as the replay goes.
Wow.
Right here.
Nice one, Riot.
This is the fight.
We love it.
Wow. It's weird that it didn't happen during game 1, but it did during game 2.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of happened in game 1 for me. Like, the Nexus exploded, and then I didn't have like a victory screen pop up.
Yeah, I haven't had a victory screen for like 2 patches, but I haven't had it literally freeze during the game-winning fight. I mean, you can see Jin is he's not having a great time. He's popped up in the air currently. You know, Stunned is over here. He's stunned. There's a couple other things happening. I'm going to assume what happens is ROTM just wins this fight and then kills the Nexus. And that's as good as it's going to get, unfortunately.
We should put up a prediction and see.
Put up the prediction.
Yes.
Does the game end on this fight? I have to end the old one.
Well, a little anticlimactic there, but RTM boys popping into chat saying they won, and really overall a really good series. Night Glade put up quite a fight, especially in this game where they were down early, able to find some really clutch fights that made the game a lot closer than it seemed like it was going to be, and just a really fun series to cast. So really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I wish that we got the check DMs. Oh, did I get sent the replay? Okay, we'll do it. Well, give me a sec. Let me load it back up. I'll load up the replay real quick. Sorry, stream. Just blame Riot for everything. It's taking so long to upload. Oh no. All right, well.
So sad.
One of these ways, we'll get this last fight on the stream. Or,
It must be done.
maybe the last fight. I guess it could go the other way still.
True, we could see a game 3.
I blame Riot for taking away the last 10 years of my free time. Same. Oh, okay. Here it is. All right.
You want to just screen share with me?
Yeah. Hold on.
That'd be great.
You're here, screen. There.
Thanks.
This is, encoding overload. I don't believe that for a second. All right.
Perfect.
Here we go.
34
The fight,
seconds.
Unfortunately, from Pantheon's perspective. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Akato's going to hit the Grand Starfall coming in, and we have seen what happens after this when he gets pulled into the Death Realm, uses the Zanyas, but here comes the rest of the squad. They knock up Armago. He's going to get taken low, taken down at the top side of the fight. It's shut down. Solomon Mikdus falls as well, and Sean Ku left trying to defend the base. It's a triple kill for Samso as he cleans up somebody outside of this realm of the fight, and there's the ace as they take down Sean Ku and the Nexus, and we have our satisfying conclusion to the stream.
So satisfying. We thought Riot was going to jip us there, but we end up getting it in there. RotM advances to the semifinals. Super exciting for the guys.
Yeah, so congratulations to the boys. Hopefully they'll let us cast the semifinal potentially as well. So maybe be on the lookout for that. If not, thanks guys for joining us. Our next cast in that case would be week 1 of Legends, which is pretty exciting. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say to the boys out in the chat?
No, just thanks everybody for watching, especially all the new people that came on and watched with us. Really fun series, and hope you come back for semifinal if we have it.
Yeah, thank you guys, and we'll hopefully see you soon. That really was like such an anticlimax, though. And then, oh yeah, let me
So
just
sad.
cast only from Ikato's perspective. He did everything in this fight.
So sad. Oh, let me. I have to wait for it to end, I guess. But I should just export this.